Alright, I'm continuing my vlogging practice. Greetings from the Dulles International Airport, where I've just arrived from a long trip from San Diego. About to head north to Cornell University, but I wanted to mention one data point that has been sticking in my mind. It's the American fertility rate has declined a little bit again. We're down to about 1.62. That means that every woman of childbearing age and capacity tends to have about 1.62 kids. Why this matters? For a population to reproduce itself, that is, for it to maintain the same size, every woman of childbearing age has to have about 2.1 kids. Now, historically, up until around the year 1900, most women had something like 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, huge numbers, very, very large numbers. But then, through a process that demographers call the demographic transition, and a very well-known process, that childbirth rate drops tremendously. And the process includes some pretty obvious stuff. One is a country or a society gets richer, it improves its healthcare, it improves its public health, but especially it gives women access to a few things. Women get access to the job market, women get access to education, and women get access to some control over their reproductive capacity. Once you do all those things at once, then childbirth tends to fall off a cliff. Now, around the world, we've seen this happening in all kinds of countries: Finland, South Korea, Japan, and pretty much everywhere the talk is for these developed nations that have gone through modernity, that they are now entering into a new kind of historically unprecedented stage. And in the United States, this is not quite so obvious because our population keeps growing. And the primary reason our population grows is immigration. So just as a side note, if we stopped all immigration tomorrow, if we just trumped out the borders, eventually our population would just start to shrink straight up. Now, that fact is underneath a lot of our debates about immigration. But let's bring this back to the future of America. Let's bring this back to the future of American higher education in general. To the extent that a college or university depends on teaching traditional age undergraduates, people aged 18 to 22 or so, the shrinking of that youthful population puts pressure on us. It makes a lot of campuses more competitive and are more interested in competing with others, and also tends to incentivize campuses to start looking for other student bodies. So they may be online elsewhere, they may be international students, but overall this seems to be inaugurating a new age of inter-campus higher education competition rather than collaboration. Now, this also means for institutions that aren't able to compete, that aren't able to grow that population, it means that they are looking at the possibility of shrinkage, that their incoming population will reduce. In the United States, this is a major threat to almost every college and university, because almost every college and university depends on revenue from tuition and student fees in order to survive. So you can see the problem. Now, for years, I've been telling campuses that predominantly teach traditional age students to rethink that approach and to think about teaching more adults, especially the flip side of reduced childbearing is a growth in the senior population. So I've been arguing that campuses should really try to teach more and more senior citizens in all kinds of ways. But that is where we are right now, and this is the problem or the trend that I'd like to leave you with for right now. See you in the comments.